Why isn't it? Why isn't it going away? Boom, there we go. Now it went away. I don't know how to do this. Anyways, go ahead,
Oh
Sarah.
man, if only you had a countdown, we would have known.
Well, welcome to Oh What a Marvel. Already starting off super strong. Recapping episode 4 of the Loki show. I am Sarah, your host for this journey. With me, I have Sean and Dean. Let's start with Sean. How you doing, Sean?
I'm tired.
You what?
I'm tired, and no Wade this week, which I knew ahead of time, but I still didn't prepare for no Wade. We were like 2 minutes away from starting, and Dean's like, "Hey, where's the StreamYard room?" And I went, "Oh, I should probably make that, huh? I guess that falls to me." So we're here. We made it pretty much on time. We're a couple minutes late, but who gives a fuck? Who cares?
It's fine.
Great
explanation.
We were on time in one universe.
Yeah, we set
were
off
on
the
time
other
in some
universe.
other. We're the variants.
Dean, how are you?
I'm pretty good. I literally just finished watching the episode again because I hadn't caught up on last week's episode. So I watched both of the episodes yesterday, and then afterwards I couldn't remember which bit was from which episode. They kind of just melded all in. I was like, shit, I really need to watch it again. And I don't know if that's a bad comment on the show, but they just the last 3 episodes have basically been the same thing.
Man,
I don't know.
It feels coherent.
I was gonna ask, since the 3 of us were not here last week and Josh did this by himself, what our quick thoughts were on episode 3. And I'm going to start the charge because I saw all over a lot of people on Facebook and Twitter and TikTok saying, and in our own chats, saying that they did not like this episode.
This episode?
They thought it was a filler episode. Episode 3.
Okay.
They did not like episode 3. They thought it was a filler. They thought it was boring. And I loved episode 3. I think it was my favorite one so far. And yeah, that's my quick... Sean, what did you think about episode 3 quickly?
Episode 3 was my favorite episode until episode 4. I love Sylvie. Sylvie's incredible. Ooh. Great character. And then that one take at the end of that episode
was incredible.
Am I watching Daredevil? Like, what the fuck? This is amazing.
It was so cool.
It was so good. It was so good. I loved episode 3.
Yes, thank you. On my side. Dean.
Here comes Dean with this fucking...
Episode 3.
Yeah. Some of my issues with episode 3 kind of carry over into this episode as well. But mainly, they're just really trying so hard to make this melodrama with the 2 Lokis happen. They're just really
and I love it.
forcing the chemistry, and they just really want... They just really want everyone to be talking about will they, won't they, should they, shouldn't they. I think she's...
That's what
I love it.
They just flip-flop between bicker, joke, emotional moment, bicker, joke, emotional moment, bicker. And it's just so contrived. And I'm very aware this whole time that they're on a green screen, like, 2008 Doctor Who, like... It just it's like forced chemistry on a forced background that just none of it's was working for me last episode at all. It gets
episode
better
3.
Episode. Yeah, episode 3 just really. I was really I just want to know the end. I just really don't care about anything else. I just want to know what's going on with the overall plot. We get a little bit more of that, but not really. But we'll get into it.
Okay, so thoughts on episode 4. How are we feeling?
No. I want to really quickly, what he said about the fake green screen thing. I've been feeling that for the entire show. I think this show has had the worst of that of any of the shows so far.
You can tell they're like on a set, like just a green screen.
The entire show feels fake to me.
Yeah, especially
because the Mandalorian looks so good, and they must have access to the exact same studio.
I think it's the setting,
the same technology, and they're just not doing it. And
I think the set is just boring.
It just doesn't look great.
Building.
They want it to feel like really cool and quirky, like Coen brothers when they're in the TVA headquarters, and that feels forced to me as well at this point. It was fun for the first episode, but the novelty of Owen Wilson kind of just, being not really normal amidst all this timey-wimey chaos is worn off, and I'm just ready to get to the meat. I'm just ready for the meat because
I feel like
the
we just
characters
got
aren't really
into the
doing it
meat.
for me.
I feel like this is the meat.
Well, we got like the gravy, like we haven't quite got into the meat.
We hit the gravy, but we haven't got to the meat.
We haven't. Okay. Our teeth haven't made it through the gravy and into the meat yet.
I think we hit the meat at the end of this episode.
I was like, this is only episode 4, and we're already like killing people. Like, what's happening?
Our first little taste of meat, I think, was at the end of this episode. I think we finally got through all the gravy, and we just started to scrape the meat.
Once we find out that the timekeepers are like just
spoilers,
robots. Yeah.
We talk about whatever we want. We don't go in order here.
Yeah.
So
once we figure out that they're just robots, I think it's just assumed that everything up until that point doesn't matter, and if anyone gets pruned, that it doesn't really matter because they're not really. I don't think this person
There's no way he's dead
is really like as all powerful as they're making themselves out to be. I think they've literally just created this bubble that all these people exist in, and I think the places that they're going aren't really the places and the times that they think they are. They're just little pocket dimensions.
Maybe
and
in the quantum realm?
Nobody is doing anything. It's
not really affecting anything.
They're not really affecting anything. I think somebody's just got this like this quantum ant farm, I guess. And he's just playing or just having fun, like it's like a game. I don't know.
They just kidnapped them into the quantum realm. Like,
okay, before we get into all of this,
quantum realm, this could be Kang. It could still be Kang.
Dude, it's gotta be Kang.
It's gotta be Mephisto. It's gotta be Kang.
I'm worried that the Kang theory after this episode is kind of going the Mephisto realm, where it's like, no, it's just robots. But then who built robots?
Somebody has to be controlling the TV. Because
Kang, they look so much like Kang. The timekeepers just look like comic book Kang straight up. But it's just,
I think he's just controlling it. I think he created the TVA to be like, I think he's Kang the Conqueror. He's done it.
You think he's just purging threats, basically people who would potentially do what he's doing, essentially, or could be doing some similar to what he's doing. Anyone else who starts jumping between timelines and dimensions. But then Loki didn't do that in Endgame. He just jumped through space, not through time. So I don't know. There's still some questions. There's still a lot of questions.
I think this is what I mean about the gravy meter. I think there's a certain bullshit meter that he has to keep, and I also think it's kind of he's like, this is how the universe is gonna go. This is how time's gonna go. I do think the sacred timeline's a thing. I think the TVA has been there keeping the timeline in order, but I think the reason they've been doing it isn't to stop some.
But they're not like a universal good force. It is literally just like a one-man fascist who's just wants to make it their way, so that it potentially sets the stage for them to have some great grander purpose of
I think it's
conquering
all
everyone.
I think it's all bullshit from Kang. I think
what
Kang
do you
just
think? Talking about bullshit, there's when Loki's talking to Owen Wilson in the towards the end of the episode, he says about oh yeah, she came to me years ago in Asgard, and like we've been working together this whole time.
Is that a lie?
Is Loki that was BSing Mobius?
Yeah.
You don't think there's any truth to that?
No, I don't think there's any truth to that.
No, I don't think
so.
I was just interested to see if anyone else thought that might have been a thread worth pulling on.
I want to jump back to when you said that they don't have any like romance or anything, because oh my gosh, the whole time I'm screaming like J-Way was right. J-Way is right that they're gonna fuck.
He's gonna bang himself.
He's gonna bang himself. Dude, oh my god, I wanted them to kiss so bad. I was like, oh, they love each other.
I feel like we're being manipulated into feeling that way it's so much more fun when like the characters don't quite have the chemistry, and then it kind of like builds and it just more
they have
natural,
the
as opposed to
chemistry.
this where it's
They
just
do.
like, you know, forcing the banter, then they insult each other, then they joke, then they insult each other, and it just
Well, yeah.
It was definitely off the beginning of last episode, but I think by the train stuff, it started to. They really got into their flow of their like romance. I don't know.
And there are some like genuinely touching moments, but it just doesn't.
Does it make sense? No.
As much.
Do I like it? Yes.
And for the show to be relying on that, because we're not relying on like action, and you know we're not relying on like, you know, like One Division had like, you know, I don't want to say gimmick, but you know it had its thing. And I don't know, just if that's the crux of this show, I just don't think it's strong enough.
Is the romance?
Yeah.
It did kind of cut. Yeah.
And it has been the crux up until now, because we're 4 episodes out of 6, and we're only just getting a level deeper from, you know, the first couple of episodes, really.
It is a little random, but I'm not mad about it. I love it. I'm a forced love.
I think like it's a slow burn a show.
Oh yeah.
The show is moving very slow, which I think I like, because I felt, again, I'm gonna keep fucking. I was sitting watching episode 3, and I yelled at my TV. I was like, I told you it was like True Detective when they started to do the one take, because that's a big thing that people remember from the first season of True Detective, is there's a scene where there's a oneer, and this show is like it's True Detective and Marvel. Like, it's fucking slow, and you're not gonna get the answers for a while.
And it's building.
It wants to be True Detective, and the mystery and the intrigue is definitely there. I just don't feel like the dialogue.
Oh no, it's nowhere near as good as True Detective.
Like, the dialogue is so lame. Like, every other line is just like, you jokey jokester, you mischievous trapster.
I don't care, man. I don't care. He's so fun. He's so fun.
I thought that the humor was better this episode. I thought it was toned down a lot.
It's the same stuff. Like, we're just hitting the same beats over and over again, and we haven't had any new beats from episode 1 till the end of this episode. Really.
Okay,
it's just
the romance stuff.
Well, okay, so you've got episode 1, then you've got Loki meets Lady Loki, and then you've got the end of this episode. So we've got like 3 things that have happened.
Yeah, that was
Sif cameo. Dean, come on.
Yeah, do you remember I said months ago on one of these shows, I said, I'm pretty sure I heard Jamie Alexander had shot something, and I'm not sure what, and it seems obvious that it's in this. And man, she must have been pissed. Like, Marvel called again. She's like, finally, give me that script.
Did they kill her off?
And then she's like, hang on, guys, I think there's something wrong with the printer. It's just the same 2 lines over and over again.
Thor 4, baby. Thor 4. I bet she's in it.
Yeah, we don't know what happened to her. She's not like dead or anything.
They killed everyone else.
So they did not kill her.
I believe somebody came out and said that she canonically she wasn't in Asgard at the time, and she was off. I think Taika has said that, or that there were plans for her, or that she could be in Thor 4.
Or Thor 5 or 6.
Can we talk about this scene? Is that supposed to be hell for the TVA? That's their version of hell, and that's the worst memory that he has that they could come up with.
Guess, dude. That's so
like,
funny.
He didn't get molested, no, nothing, you know.
Jesus Christ.
One of the frost giants.
I think it was supposed to be comedic, not like a hell, just an annoyance over.
Why would they want it to be comedic? They're torturing him for information that affects at the timeline. This is serious. As far as they're saying, we need to fix the timeline. This is going to end reality unless you give us the information that we want, and then we're just going to like give you the torture equivalent of tickling. Like,
when
really, that's the one moment.
And she's like connected, like you're like, oh, he's made a connection. It worked, and she just.
You know what would have been cool?
Is it again? I fucking lost my shit.
His hell should. It should have been the moment where Hulk is like slamming him around just over and over again. Over and over again. But then I guess the problem with that is that he can't have any, growth. But then he's still just having the same growth that he's been having through all the other movies and that he went through already in episode 1 and was still... It was cool to see Sif again though, right?
Yeah. I think this is the least character-driven of all the shows. Like, I don't really give a fuck about Loki, to be completely honest.
It's just one mystery, and they've just stretched it out over so much time.
I just want to know what the fuck's going on with the TVA. Like, I do not care about Loki. Like, I'm like, yeah, okay, Loki's cool, whatever. Like, I hope Loki and Sylvie have their happily. Whatever,
I hope they.
Whatever. I hope they fuck on camera.
I did like that the graph spiked as soon as they had like that moment of like intimacy, and then it was like boom, don't do that because that's definitely gonna screw the timeline.
Dean, you can just leave for a second. I'm gonna talk to Sarah for a minute here. Sarah, did you get huge Last Jedi vibes from this entire episode?
With like the romance stuff of it?
Everything that happened. There's even a throne room scene where they go back to back and they fight.
Yeah.
And then they kill the big bads.
Yeah.
Like it's...
Now that you say it, yeah.
And then they have a part where they're connecting and they're touching and it's causing something crazy to happen. Like...
Yes!
This episode is massive Last Jedi vibes.
I was gonna say, it was definitely... Their romance was definitely giving me some kind of like Rey and Kylo, like...
Yeah.
Unforbidden...
I knew that was going to happen. Okay, I just wanted to bring it up because I was watching, and I think it was...
That's so true. That's wild.
When they were touching, I was like, this reminds me a lot of the scene between Rey and Kylo in Last Jedi. But then when they got to the throne room, and I was like, this is just the Last Jedi. This is Marvel Studios' Last Jedi fan fiction. Anyway, you can come back now.
I'm very confused. So what is...
What were they doing?
What is pruning?
Fuckers? I don't know.
Are they dead? Like, we see Owen Wilson's character.
No, Owen Wilson is in an alternate dimension. He woke up, he sat up, and there was a fucking big red car in front of him.
Yeah. So here's the thing, right?
He's like, this is my destiny.
The car was like, my name is Lightning McQueen. You have to come with me.
We talked about Thor Ragnarok, and I was thinking like this place that Loki ends up in the post-credit scene is like the dimensional version of Shikar, where it's just like this wasteland where they just dump everything.
Well, it's New York.
What?
That was New York.
What are you talking about? What post-credit?
In the background. The post-credit scene of the episode.
What post-credit?
Sarah, did you watch the post-credit scene?
No, what the fuck are you talking about?
Sarah, are you serious?
I'm dead ass. What the fuck are you talking about?
Sarah, there's a post-credit scene.
No, I'm dead. There's not are you serious?
Yes.
There really is? You're fucking with me.
Hold on. Let's see.
No, there's not.
Let's see if I can do this.
There's a post-credit scene. Richard
Has there always been one?
No, just in this one. Let's see if I can. Hang on.
Yeah, they need to come up with some kind of consistent thing of doing this.
I did not know that.
It's always like, in the last couple of episodes, we're going to start throwing them in there.
Yeah, and I didn't see that anywhere.
Yeah.
What happens?
Hang on.
So we see Loki. We see them. They're not dead.
We only see Loki, but he wakes up and he's surrounded by other Lokis.
I don't know if you'll be able to hear.
Oh, that's fine.
Here, let's.
There's not really any.
Boom.
I don't know what's happening. Okay, he's looking around. Oh shit! What?
Oh, it didn't stay for as long, but there you go.
Yeah.
Oh.
You know who's out there, baby?
That
You know who's
Kid
Richard E.
Loki?
Grant.
screen? Kid
Richard E.
Loki!
Yeah,
Young
there's so much
Avengers!
going on there.
Young
There's so much
Avengers,
going on
Kid
there.
Loki.
Who are the other two
Yeah.
people?
One
They're
of
all
them's classic
Lokis.
Loki. Yeah, they're all
So
Lokis.
they're just taking, because I'm guessing that Loki's breaking the timeline is probably more common than most other characters breaking the timeline.
That's
I
true.
would assume it's just, Spider-Man's probably not going to bust the timeline too many times, punching muggers in Brooklyn. But Loki, they're just throwing them there. And this leads me, to believe that it's just somebody who's just taking out competition potentially for who knows what. But Richard E. Grant, everybody, is classic,
Richard E. Grant.
like 1960s Loki.
Yeah.
And then you've got Kid Loki, and then you've got like Thor Loki.
Kid Loki, Young Avengers,
Are we calling him
baby.
Thor Loki?
I don't know, man. We'll find out.
He's
Next
got
episode.
a golden hammer.
I love the
Wow.
theory
Yeah.
that
No one
is
told
the
me
New
about
York-
this.
Anyway, my
No one
point
could have
was,
put in the chat. Oh, stay around for the post-credit scene. No one. Thanks, guys.
I like the idea that this is the New York where Loki won, and they took Loki's biggest victory, like a New York where Loki defeated the Avengers and Avengers won,
and made it his
and now they've-
purgatory.
That's fucking great. I think that's a good. 'Cause Avengers
Oh.
Tower's in the background and it's all fucked up.
Uh-huh.
So.
You think like the whole like taking over New York thing is just like a common thing that all the Lokis try to do at some point. They just can't
Everyone
resist
gets
it.
hired. Everybody
You've
gets
got to
hired
get
by
that
Thanos
set
at some
up.
point.
You've got to go and get the army. You've got to make the Avengers. Every Loki, it's the rites of passage. You've got puberty, prom, Battle of New York. Let's go.
Yeah, I love the idea that if it's Kang, whoever, that they just took his greatest victory and turned it into a purgatory. I think that's
Wow.
great.
It's got to be Kang. And
Like,
I think
who else could it be at this point?
And I think,
Mephisto.
he's got some control and some manipulation over time, but I don't think he's as all powerful
No.
as he appears to be. I think there is some visual tomfoolery going on with with like future technology.
Yeah.
And they're all like on little like pocket
Magneto.
like either
I call them
dimensions
Magneto,
or
but,
little holodecks that he's got
Mysterio.
everyone on his big like he's got a crazy big
He's got
shit.
it, yeah.
that
Well,
has your name that Disney. Oh,
nobody who's all powerful creates an organization like the TVA to keep the
because
timeline.
we said
Like,
at the beginning they're shit.
yeah,
Like
But
their whole
if he's all
system is just like
powerful-
they don't trust each other. Like they're easily abducted and swayed. Like
Yeah.
they're crap.
If he's all powerful, then he'd be doing this himself, so he can't be. So
He'd
it's
be
gotta
everywhere,
be,
right?
Yeah, like it's
Which
I
he kind
think
of
it's
is.
Kang.
Yeah.
It's gotta
In
be
the
Kang.
comics,
It
he kind of
has
ends
to
up
be
like
Kang,
everywhere.
What
but
if it's another Loki? What if it's an original Loki?
I thought about that. It could possibly be another Loki, and
That would be-
I'd be fine with it.
Upset.
I'd be whatever. But I don't know if I'd be upset because they haven't promised me Kang. They kind of have
No.
promised me Kang because Kang has been cast. They have said Kang exists in the MCU. This is the person that's playing him. He's showing
and
up.
these
in a
robots
movie.
look like Kang, man.
It's- and they're-
They all the
It
time the
has to be
TVA
Kang.
they look like Kang. Why, if it was somebody else, why would they make it look like a villain that we haven't seen yet? It just
It's time related. It's about conquering time, the sacred time. Like it's very Kang. If it turns out to be another Loki, I guess it depends on how it's executed for me.
yeah.
But
I don't love it when I hear it, but
Mm.
maybe I don't
Maybe they
disregard
do it.
that there's a way that they could swing it that might make it work.
What did we
No.
think about the Owen Wilson scene with I don't know the girl's name or the character's name.
Judge Renslayer,
Yeah?
Oh,
What?
just
when he died,
when they're, like,
or
sit-
the one before it.
where
The
they're just
one when they're
talking
like
to
in the
Adrian.
office and they're signing the papers. I think
fine.
that's the kind of dialogue that I feel with Dean. Like it was going back to that Guy Ritchie kind of dialogue that they love to put in these shows. and
they were just trying to make it feel like
a mystery,
like normal, like kind of workplace dialogue and banter, and it just didn't work for me. And then plus that with the the tonal shift between that and some of the other stuff that they're trying to do with the big like emotional punches and the fake CGI meteors, because real meteors are too expensive.
Speaking of emotional stuff, Hunter B-15 in this episode?
Yes, that was my next point.
Did a fantastic job.
She completely like
arse off.
Yeah.
More better. She's doing better than what the script deserves, to be quite honest.
I don't think it is.
Like,
because the dialogue is just like, you've been lying to me my whole time. I was happy. I was happy. And it's just like,
but when Mobius was like, I'm gonna go to a place where I can have a jet ski. That's where I want to go. That's the place I want to go. And then bzz, I was like, no.
So do you think he's also in his own?
He's with Lightning McQueen.
He's with all the other Mobiuses that they just got rid of.
Owen Wilson characters just in one.
Yeah, it's all the Owen Wilson characters.
The guy from Zoolander, Meet the Parents, Night at the Museum.
Imagine he gets there and he's like, 1 million Owen Wilsons, not one fucking Marley. Are you kidding me?
Dude, I'm fucking telling you, they're gonna be down and out, fighting Kang in the final episode. It's gonna look like all hope's lost. And they're just gonna fucking hear ka-chow, and then speeding around the corner is Lightning McQueen with Mobius on top with like a machine gun or something.
Oh man!
But it's the animated Lightning McQueen.
Yeah, it's Pixar and Lightning McQueen.
This episode has the perfect moment.
Oh, Wilson just gets out of the.
About Owen Wilsonisms. This episode sets him up for the best wow ever, and they just don't do it.
They said they weren't going to.
I know, but I thought they were saying that, and then they would still do it, because in that scene where he says about where he's realizing that Loki likes Sylvie. And he's like,
wow,
you like her? And he goes on this whole, it was right there.
I think he's killing it. His acting is
killing it. When he's
so
like,
good.
You are the most insane narcissist. He goes in on Loki, and I thought it was hilarious. But no, don't worry. He's gonna show up like Loki and Sylvie are gonna be beaten up by Kang or something, and you're gonna see behind him just, wow.
I was like, you can't kill Owen Wilson. He's my favorite part.
No,
this is all you got? Wow.
He's not dead yet.
No, he's fucking coming back. There's no way.
Alternate thing, he's instead of sending him to like a purgatory like Loki, maybe they actually send Owen Wilson to his like perfect like jet ski holiday, and he then has to make the decision to give it up to help Loki take down the TVA at the end of the season.
Oh,
the one.
Then you've got a nice arc.
The one line that I was like, "Ooh, Dean's not gonna like this." The one line of dialogue I heard, because I was like, "I don't really like that," is when he's like, "So what? I have to trust the word of 2 Lokis?"
No, just a friend.
Yeah, he's like, "What about a friend?"
Fuck you!
All I could think of, all I could think of was Lord of the Rings.
And there's like
I never thought I'd die side by side with an elf.
How about a friend?
Yeah. There's like 3 or 4 like really bad like bomb drop dialogue things like that in this episode, and they really take me out. And if they could just maintain that really like moody, talky tone and keep it like that, then I would be like super like chomping at the bit for this mystery and just like getting sucked in. And if it was just super like zany, like million miles a second, like, you know,
they're trying to do both. It's not.
Yeah.
And they just the pace and the ebb and the flow is just not getting me. The emotional bits aren't working, and I'm not getting enough of the zaniness, you know.
That's fair.
And those are my final thoughts.
Yeah, I really don't have anything else to say. I'm also really tired. I just want to see them fuck. That's all I really want.
Man, on the other side of this laptop, you could not see. I got a PS2 set up that I ordered from eBay, and I am about to play Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3
let's
like a
go.
motherfucker. You have
Let's
no
go.
idea.
Budokai Tenkaichi 3. Let's go. Well, then, I mean, look. You guys...
Follow me
you
on
guys
Twitter.
Sorry for a
tweet
short
about it.
episode, Josh. Are we excited for... We have 2 more episodes left. I really don't know where this show is going to go.
They
I
better
felt
go
like...
a lot of places. They really better, like...
Right into Kang.
But I feel like every episode, like... I feel like this show has not been what people have expected it to be at all.
No.
Is that's true? Yes.
Yeah.
Right?
I
just don't know where...
It took a pretty major shift.
Where are we going?
Like a slow-mo badass montage of all these Lokis teaming up, and then Sylvia's gonna rescue them, and they're all gonna.
They should have saved the "I Need a Hero" song till them all pairing up.
They might bring it back. That might be a callback, because I thought it was a bold move to have that bigger song right at the beginning of the show. So there's a good chance that they call that back and have all the Lokis teaming up, and we're going to be taken down. But then, if it is Kang, do we really want to watch a show where they don't beat the villain? Because how does that work? We're going to see him again. I mean, I guess that he's a time-hopping villain, so he can be...
He's going to walk into the time, and that's how the show's going to end. And we're all going to be like, what?
Set it back a little bit. Like now he doesn't have the TVA, and he has to do something else. Like, maybe the season ends with the destruction of the TVA.
Loki wakes up and it was all a dream.
Yeah.
He wakes up and he's right back with the Tesseract.
No. He wakes up and he realizes that he's been hallucinating because of a lack of oxygen as Thanos chokes him to death.
And that's how we get him back.
Then it ends. Then Thanos snaps the neck and Loki dies. It's just the entire thing is
stop trying to kill Loki.
Loki's been being choked out by Thanos and dying, and he's been hallucinating because of a lack of oxygen. And he comes to. He sees Thanos' face, and he just fucking dies.
He comes to just in time to witness his own death.
The show just ends with the blink. We see it from his perspective on Thanos, and it's blinking, and and then it goes dark.
Crack, and then it goes dark.
No.
Oh, no, you know what it is? It's Kang's like, I've won. I have become the master of time. I am the god of time. And Loki goes, you will never be a god. And then it just cuts to, you will never be a god.
So basically what you're saying is that whole series is like that feeling when you're having a dream, and then in the dream you need to pee, and then you wake up because you need to pee.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing where he the last line that he says in the dream is the last line that he says in real life, and then
to make it even better, Loki's getting choked out by Kang as well. So Loki gets choked to death by Kang, wakes up, goes, oh, thank God that was a dream. Oh no!
Oh my gosh.
I was dreaming about getting choked to death because I was being choked to death.
We do it like Inception. He's getting choked out by Kang, then it zooms out and he's getting slammed around by Hulk, then it zooms out again and he's getting choked by Thanos. Just get an extra layer of insult in there just because we fucking hate this character and we want him to suffer, damn it, and the hell they made him wasn't good enough, and we just wrote a better one right there.
I love Loki. I don't know what you're talking about. No,
that wasn't Dean saying that. That was the Marvel Studios writers that have to keep killing Loki.
Yeah, why are we hating on Loki, people? Give him a, I don't know, show him love.
But now we've got 3 more Lokis to snap all their necks.
Sarah, get us out of here.
All right. Well, on that note, we don't have anything else to say about this episode. That's the end.
Just snapping no Loki necks, left, right, and center, baby.
I'm ready for next episode. I'm ready for next episode.
I have no idea where this is going. I mean, I guess the Kang. We'll see. But until then, Sean, you can go first. Where can the people find you?
Right there, at Sean_AFK, everything that I use on Twitter.
Okay. And Dean?
Yes, right there. because I'm going to be not only on Twitter at Dean Lewis 2099, but I'm going to be on this chair playing Dragon Ball fucking Z and probably have some observations. It's been a while since I played that game, so ready to go. Sarah, where can they find you?
You can find me right here on Twitter at SSCBach. And we'll be back next week recapping the show. You can find this show on Twitter at MovieBlogMerc. There's a bunch of other stuff that we all do, but honestly, I'm so tired I don't really remember. So we'll see you next week at 7 o'clock recapping the next episode. Okay, bye!